Hey, Ryan, Michael Galloway here with We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com. I'm still with Chuck Rainey, who is just an outstandingly established bass player for years and years, and you have heard his work if you've been listening to the radio at all. And so, Chuck, I went out a while back, and I kind of wanted to refamiliarize myself with some of the people you play with, and the list is so long. I got lost. I mean, it just went on and on and on. But I know you've done a whole bunch with Quincy Jones, and that's a lot of different productions, isn't it?
I'm sorry, say that again, Ryan.
I say I think you've done a whole lot of different productions with Quincy Jones, and that's a lot of different things, right? Not just one or two.
Oh yeah, for a while I was a part of the party.
And
I was a part of the party for 3-4 years.
And it was like not just pop records and stuff like that, but did you do some film work as well?
Yes, I did do some film work with Quincy, both in New York and when I moved west to Hollywood.
So they were. Oh, and well, that's a question for you. So you moved to West Hollywood, and did that change the number of gigs you got and kind of put you in the middle of the action? Was that a career move, or did you just happen to decide, well, I'll go out there and check it out? What was?
Well, it's really kind of hard to say. In and around 1972, everybody on the East Coast was investigating the West Coast. That's the year that the Tonight Show band moved to the West Coast, and and a lot of people tried to live out there or went there. With me, it was kind of easy because I went there with Quincy Jones's band. They were from the West Coast, and we just got through finishing a recording. I can't think of which one it was right now, but he was touring with Roberta Flack, and I was in Roberta Flack's band. Eric Gale and I were in Roberta Flack's band, and we also were the two musicians that played on Quincy's current record. So it just happened to be that Eric and I both moved at the same time, and that we spent most of the summer on the West Coast touring and doing certain things with the big band, with Roberta Flack. And then when everybody from New York went back to New York, gradually I began to stay and just hang out. Number one, I wanted to live there because playing with King Curtis on the 1965 Beatle tour, we ended that tour in Hollywood. And I remember 1965 saying, wow, this is beautiful, I want to live here. It took me 7 years to get there, but I did ultimately, get there.
Good deal. And if you could keep speaking nice and loud for me, that'd be great. So just a few of the things that I caught up was you play with Dave Mason, you played with Jackson Browne, you played with Steely Dan, and not just once with Steely Dan, but like Asia and Katie Lyde and Royal Scam and Gaucho and oh boy, did I mention Jackson Browne? Marvin Gaye is one of the ones I saw out there, and Robert Palmer, and any other notables you'd like to remind us of?
Well, it's kind of hard, Ryan. I don't think about those things too much.
Yeah.
And that I get myself involved. I'm very happy I was chosen, and haven't really made that much of a habit of
keeping the list. Huh?
Keeping track. I did have a great career in both parts of the country. Out in Los Angeles, of course, it was very different for me. I began to do more film work, like with Quincy and Oliver Nelson, and a few other people, Jack Elliott, Alan Ferguson, Dave Grusin, where they were all in film. And since I was the new guy in town with Quincy, which helped a whole lot, I got a chance to know those
some people would make a distinction between film and television. I know one of the items that you, or one of the songs that you did was probably one of the more iconic things that people would remember was actually for a television show, and that was the theme song for Sanford and Son. Is that correct?
Yes, those are two. All that came through Quincy. Not all of that, but that one particular sitcom.
Okay.
I was involved in having an office with in the same place with Dave Cruson, Jackie Elliott, and Alan Ferguson, who did a whole lot of work in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
And me coming to town and getting up to the place to have an office and, to be able to utilize it properly. I was in and around a lot of people that were doing a lot of work. And I was very fortunate. I did the Grammys, was in a Grammy orchestra 6 years in a row. Mainly because I was right there with the orchestrators that were arranging and orchestrating the music.
Perfect.
And sort of with the people who were really kind of hooked, really good into that Hollywood scene.
So it sounds to me that your networking talents were something that was as crucial as your playing talents.
Well, I guess it could be said that way, although I did not exert myself in any way in networking. I've always been an East Coast player. I'm more concerned about the instrument I play, how it fits in organized music, and then, I guess being fortunate for the universe to put me in the right place at the right time, with the right attitude, not to say that I was always perfect. I had to learn a lot of things the hard way. But I didn't really go out of my way to market other than to play my instrument as best I could whenever I got into any situation.
Gotcha.
Of course, going out west with Quincy Jones, it's a very big help. It's a really, really big help, especially when he's hot and contractors and other producers and people are looking at what he's doing and make them, so experienced and popular, at the time.
Right, right. That's great. Well, I think we got the idea, and I'd like to move on to another post soon here. I am Ryan Michael Galloway. I'm very fortunate to be talking with Chuck Rainey, who is just a very established session bass player for many, many years, and as we've just proven, been just about everywhere. And of course, I'm with We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com. Come back for our next post, please.